The motivation on our side is really that our heart goes with this sport. The best mountain bike World Cup event worldwide is the goal for us. So our staff, the athletes, the mechanic, the teams, the journalists, the media, there are around 2,200 to 2,300 people directly involved into the event. So that's quite huge.
But are you able to just give us a rough feel of like what the budget needs to look like to put on something like this?
Yes, of course. On our side, we bring in about...
All right, we're here again in the Salzburger Hof in Leogang. Thanks to Boa for making this possible for us this week. Get dialed in with your fit on helmets, shoes, many other products alongside your top brands. And I'm joined by some of the main men behind the organisation of the Leogang World Cup, Marco Pointner and Kornel Grundner. Welcome to the Downtime Podcast. How are you doing today?
We are fine. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for the invitation.
Good. No, it's really cool to have you here. I think hopefully we can give a little bit of a behind-the-scenes insight into what it takes to put on one of these insanely huge events. First off, just give us a little kind of overview of your job role and what that means for this event.
Yes, from my side, Marco, I'm the chief of the organization team together with Kornel, and we are a team of about 30 development manager of different departments, and together with the cable car company and Kornel, we are doing this event since 2010.
Yeah, 2010, hey Kornel. And I believe winners then were Sabrina Johnnier and Mr. Greg Minnaar.
Yeah, it's a long time, since 2010, yeah. And yeah, I'm the CEO from the cable car company and responsible for the people here on the company. And we are glad that we have the World Cup so long time here in the region, and we're growing up with every event and learn.
Yeah, so is this year 15 then?
Yes. So it's since 2010 there is the World Cup, and there was the World Champs in 2012 and in 2020, and once more in 2028.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, good stuff. It's coming back. That's going to be good. All right, give us some idea then. What's the motivation for you guys to host the World Cup here?
I think the motivation on our side is really that our heart goes with this sport. We like mountain biking. We develop mountain biking, and we like to have the best athletes of the world here in our destination, Saalfelden-Leogang. That's our motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we started 2001 with the first bike park in Austria, and it's 25 years next year. And so now we are together with Saalbach, Hinterglemm and Fieberbrunn, Austria's biggest bike resort. And so we are growing, we get new lines, we get new trails. And so the summer season is for us a very, very important season in the year.
Yeah, and this event, I guess, is the best way to showcase and promote what you have here, yeah?
That is the idea, yes, to show our products, our region with these kind of events, and that is our main event for the whole year. And it's quite special. Together with our partners, Saalbach, Hinterglemm, Leogang, Fieberbrunn, we have the best events in each sport. In summer we have the mountain bike World Cup. In winter we have the ski World Cup and the ski World Champs this year. And in Fieberbrunn we have the freeride World Tour. So that's quite unique in the world, I think, in such a small area to have these events here.
Yeah, for sure. And am I right in thinking this all starts with a bidding process? You have to kind of submit something to the UCI and the organization teams. How does that work?
Yeah, it's a long way to do, and we are really glad that we have now a contract till 2030. So we are the first region worldwide. They have a contract with the Warner Bros. Discovery Sports and the UCI that we have till 2030 the World Cup and 2028 the World Championships here in Saalfelden-Leogang.
Yeah, fantastic. So what goes into that process? Like, what do you need to put together to enable what you've been doing here?
I think there are I think you have to do a lot of effort to get this trust from all the different partners, to get this long-term partnership. From our side, the most important thing I think is to organize good events. To organize, probably our goal is to organize the best events. The best mountain bike World Cup event worldwide is the goal for us.
Yeah.
And I think you have to liaise with all the different partners to get this trust to organize the event for such a long time.
Yeah, and we are glad that we have so good sponsors and partners since a long time. Also with them, we have a long-term contracts. If there is the Scott from Bike Side, or Fox from clothing, or GoPro, and Red Bull is Austrian company and supported us from the beginning of our that we had a World Cup here in Leogang.
Yeah, and do you choose which disciplines you want to host? Like, you guys have got the triple header here with EDR, well, all the XC stuff and the downhill stuff. Like, is that a choice you make? Is that something that Warner Brothers
choose? It is our goal to have everything here in our destination, to show that mountain biking in all the different kinds which are here. So it is our goal to host these events, and there was one special year, I think, to go back to a double header. That was 2020, the Corona World Championships. It was quite a special situation, because we jumped in for Albstadt and overtake the cross country events. It was our goal to go back to a doubleheader, and with 2020 we reached that goal. And for the future, until 2030, now we hopefully plan with these events.
Fantastic. And how important are the tracks in the bidding process?
I think it's as Marco says, it was in 2020 for us, that we got the XAO, and then we have to build in 3 months the track. That's not so easy to do. And we had then the contract with the UCI that we have till 2024 across country, because we can't build them for 1 year. And so the last years we had it, and it's interesting, because we build up now a new track on the top of the mountain, and we will start next year with the XAO on the top. And it's an Olympic discipline. It's worldwide more visibility, and also a goal for us is to bring the downhill in the Olympics. But that's pretty a long way, but hopefully it works.
Yeah, fingers crossed. What of all the different disciplines and the track infrastructure, which is the hardest to put together? I would imagine, the Enduros spans such a wide variety and amount of terrain that I would guess that was the hardest. But what do you guys see?
I think you ask what is important for an event. I think it's not only the tracks, but it's also the infrastructure which a destination can deliver. And I think in Austria, and especially in our destination, we deliver a very, very good world-class infrastructure. From hotel accommodation, parking space, tracks, trails. There's so many things to do, and we can offer that. And it's easier to offer that in a good quality when you have this long-term perspective.
For sure, because you can invest, right?
And yes, you can invest, you can plan, you can learn.
Yeah.
And your question: what is the every disciplines needs other trails and tracks, and for every discipline it's important to have a world-class track.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and important is it also that you have the commitment from the ground owners, because we are on the ground of them, and if they say no, it's not possible, then we can't organize a event like this. So it's really helpful that we have a good cooperation with them on the whole mountain.
Yeah, how do you approach keeping things fresh. If we take the downhill track as an example, like I've heard that, again, and maybe down to ground ownership, you're kind of limited to some extent on how you can route the track down the hill. We've seen big changes in the past, like the lower section of the track has changed significantly. I think it was for 2020, right, when it changed. How do you approach trying to keep things like that with some element of newness and exciting and challenge for the riders and for the fans to watch when you're to some extent constrained on the hill?
On the other side, we want to have a classic race, So our vision is like it is also in the ski World Champions World Cup, that you have races like Wengen or races like Kitzbühel or otherwise Beaver Creek and so on, because then that's the classic races. It's probably always the same area and the same track, but together with the track chief, so we organize together with the grand owner some off-camber sections on the tops, in the middle, and then at the least the big Wallis-Hölle changing with the river gap jump. So that's, you should organize also classics.
Yeah, and are you guys responsible for track safety? How does that work between you guys, Warner Brothers, UCI? Like, there's that element to consider, I guess.
Yes, of course, we are responsible together with Warner Brothers, but on our side, we organize the mountain rescue, we organize the rescue teams, we organize the marshals, we organize all that stuff which is up on the mountain. We organize also all the volunteers. We are working with 250 to 350 volunteers a day, so that's quite a lot, and that is all handled by our department managers from the cable car company and from the tourist board, because that's also, I think, a special situation that we are organizing the whole event on our own. We do not have any event agency or something like that.
Yeah.
The event is organized by the cable car company and the tourist board, and I think that's quite special worldwide.
And that was the idea, that we have the competence directly in our own crew. Yeah, it's not so easy to do this on site for the normal job of the year, because a World Cup like this, it's the whole year project. Yeah, and so we have persons. They are normally for press in the agency, and so in this side, they make the accreditation for all, or they have the volunteers and so on. And it's interesting for the whole crew, but there is also a hold the competence in their own companies.
Yeah. So how many, like, if we rewind 6 months, say, before the event kind of really starts to get going, how many people are in that core team at that point in time?
In the core team, we have around 30 department managers.
Okay.
So each department manager is responsible for a special part of the event, like anti-doping, volunteers, rescue, TV, organization things, press. So different departments. We have 30 about that. And the organization of the event takes nearly the whole year, but with different people involved at different times.
Okay. Yeah.
And it gets more intensive. Normally, the last 2 years, we always have organize a meeting in London in the mid of January with all the organizers worldwide and together with Warner Brothers. And with this meeting, we come back to our destination and make a big meeting with our department managers, and then it starts.
Yeah.
And it's getting more intensive until the event week, of course.
Yeah, and in the week now, we're kind of in the middle of the week. Racing's kind of just getting going. Riders are on track as we speak. You may see them in the background, who knows. How many people do you have on site that you're responsible for this week?
We talked about that yesterday. You can calculate with a number of around 450 people a day around that, because you have it depends a bit how intensive the day is. If there, for example, Friday is a really hard day because there is downhill qualification, there is enduro training, and there is also a cross-country short track race. So it's quite an intensive day. There are around 450 to 500 people on the ground.
Yeah, and starts at 7:00 in the morning and ends 7:30 in the evening.
Yeah, they're big days when it gets going, right, with the racing. Yeah, for sure. So what are the biggest challenges for you as you get closer to the event and in towards the race week? What are the big things that kind of keep you awake at night?
Yeah, Kornel and me are responsible for the whole organization, but with small different parts. Kornel, for example, is the race director.
Okay.
And from our side and our team, we do all this paperwork, this boring paperwork. Therefore, yesterday was quite an important meeting, because yesterday, on Wednesday, we have a meeting with all the local authorities to get all the final permissions done for the event. So
wow, is that close to the event that you have to do that? Whoa.
You are in negotiations with them over the last months, but there is one final day for all the permissions.
So if they don't sign off on that day, things get interesting, right?
Correct, but normally you go with different departments.
Normally they control if you have every permission for every grandstand, if the electric is tested and so on, if there's the sign under the permission, and that's the last check of them. And they go through the whole venue and take a look on the team area, they take a look on the grandstands, they take a look on the media center and so on. Is there the permission for the heating? Is there a permission for the to build up and for the storm probably, and what or rescue plans for something else.
Amazing. So that's you breathe a sigh of relief once that's all finally signed.
Yes, this is quite an important day, and also when training starts, because the first day of training is also always a bit stressful, because all marshals have to be on the position. All things should be built up finally to start with the training.
And our venue is the Wednesday day, because you have the inspection from the UCI and Warner Bros. Discovery Sports. If everything is well built up and if it's okay, and if the safety issues from sports sides and so on, if everything is done, then you're happy,
because
it can start.
On Wednesday there is the TV course walk, the UCI PCP track walk regarding all these different things, if the course is ready to race.
Yeah, it's a hectic week for sure. How easy is it to find that number of marshals? Like, do you find that an easy task, or is it hard to get people to volunteer? Because I assume they're volunteers, right?
Yes, we handle all the volunteers between 250 and 350 a day. So you need quite a number, because there are several volunteers are working more than 1 day a week. So we calculate with around 300 different people, something like that. And of course, it's hard to handle, but we have the luckily situation in the area that we have a lot of mountain bike fans, a lot of clubs. Yes, different clubs. So totally different clubs. They are working for us to organize the event and to host it in our destination. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I was going to say it's super important for events to have volunteers. I know it's not always easy to find them. So if people are a passionate fan of the sport and love it, then getting involved with events locally is a big thing, right?
Yeah. Julia from my team is managing this, and she's starting in February. And the last changes are today in the morning. Somebody is not arriving, so we have to organize where we.
Yeah, I guess that's the challenge with unpaid staff, isn't it? There's no real need for them to arrive on site if they change their mind. Tricky times. I want to talk about the pit, because it's a huge part of the races, always has been, but even more so these days, I think. And the pit infrastructure and setup has grown. Like, everyone's pits are bigger and bigger every year. It's very, I think, important to teams to have everything they need, like water, power, all of that stuff. And also logistically, very challenging, right? You've got to fit however many huge trucks into what is relatively a compact and fairly awkward space, I guess, to move trucks around in. You've got to get teams in in the right order so that you can get the whole pit together. You've got to think about pit location and priorities. And, you know, I know teams can get upset if they're not in the kind of front row of trucks because they lose footfall, they lose exposure from a brand perspective. Talk us a little bit through that logistical challenge. And also, I guess this week even harder because everyone was back to back coming from Leogang, and I think a lot of traffic jams and issues made arrivals late and probably made that challenge even harder for you guys.
Yeah, we have a responsible person, Sarah, from our side. He's managing this, but the main goal is there by Warner Bros. Discovery Sports. They are organizing the pit, and so we have to check what spaces they need, and so have to organize a plan, and then we can send it to Warner Bros. Discovery, and they have the connection to the teams. They do everything with the teams directly, and and we can get the information back if it's okay or if it's not okay. And then we have to plan with the electric and with the water and so on. It's a challenge that the teams and the pits are growing and growing. We have still a lot of space here on site. There are more than 12,000 square meters what we have. But it looks every year it's too less.
It's amazing, but it does look great, doesn't it? Especially with all the modern trucks and everything.
It looks great. It's awesome also for the sport, but for the future, I think it's also hard for the different venues to get all that space closely, which is needed closely at the venue. And so I think for the future we also have to find a solution to build up a more flexible paddock pit system, something like that. Probably, I don't know, I do not know, I do not have an idea at the moment, but it's getting hard to have all this space at the different venues. It's not only Leogang. I think from our perspective, we have the lucky situation that we have really a huge space around the venue. But it's also, as Kornel said, it's also too less. I don't know how to handle that in the future.
Well, this is it. And as teams, in theory, grow and we get more outside sponsorship, there's more requirement and need from the teams, I guess, to host VIP spaces. So maybe they want to bolt another element onto their pit space to have VIPs in and all this side of things. Like, it's only going to grow from here, I guess.
Yeah, but if you see some pits from MotoGP or Formula One, big pits, but that's still organized, and they look like the same space of every team, and then it's easier to plan for them. So
this is true, but then
here's a problem in the moment that we have teams that have 115 square meters, the other ones have 400 square meters, and so and
one pit is long, one is deep, so that's quite hard to handle, of course.
So some standardization in pits would be useful. I guess hard until the budgets are significant. It's hard to say.
Totally understand that also from a team perspective. Totally. But I think it's also, when we think the sport globally, it's also better for all of us to have a bit more flexible systems, something like that. But of course, that's also something special of the mountain bike sport, that you are so close by the teams, by the mechanics, by the athletes. That's something special.
It is
very cool. Cool for the spectators. It's possible like this.
You can meet your heroes on the day. You can walk right up to people. It's very unusual in a sport at any level, I think. What would you see as the future of the pits? I mean, comments out here just outside the hotel with these cool new pods. I don't even know how they arrived. I assume they come on the back of a truck and get craned into place. I don't really know. But is that something you think would make the whole pit situation easier if everyone had something like that? How do you see it?
I think it should be a more flexible system, and probably you can build it up in the high.
You go up instead of going out.
Yes, probably that could be. And when the pit or the paddock should be possible to level it easier. Because we have nearly a flat parking space here. So in our venue, it works quite well, I think. But when it's easier to level all the things, and you can organize it a bit more flexible, then it helps a lot, I think. For the teams, for the organizers, and for the venue, then it could also look a bit cleaner.
So we have two places in our pit. They are not leveled. Yeah,
I know.
So
what you're
nobody
talking about.
wants to stay there. Yeah. Oh, why?
Yeah, the conversation's been had already this week. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. When you think about Formula One in the paddock, they have like the VIP is normally like a 2-level thing, isn't it? At least so. Yeah, well, we'll see. It's going to be exciting.
But it's a question of budget,
For sure.
But it's also a long-term planning for the teams, I think. So you can't change this from one year of the other one. So every team has a big investment behind the pit. And I think that should be organized together with the teams. What is the vision of the teams? Yeah. What is the vision of the series? And then ask together how long it takes that we get in a better shape probably with this.
Fair play. How do you keep the pits safe? We've seen some instances at World Cups of teams being broken into. There's a lot of money's worth of kit, right?
Yesterday we have this final permission meeting.
Yeah.
There also the police is involved, of course. Also our security company is involved. We have on the ground, around nearly 70 securities. There is also the police is here. That is the most important thing, and for understanding also the pits are closed in the evening, and then the security is also doing night shifts to control everything.
Yeah, fair. So environmental and sustainability, like it's a challenge for all events, disciplines, everyone I think on the planet to try and do things better. How does that work for you guys organizing a World Cup?
We are in our area. We are a certified sustainable tourism region. We organized for that and we worked for that. And our goal is to organize the whole World Cup as a green event, green event in Salzburg. So we are doing a lot of work and a lot of investment to get our events more sustainable.
What does that involve?
Probably all the tickets is from Friday to Sunday from the official mobility. You don't need a ticket for them. With the entrance ticket of Leogang, you get a free mobility from Salzburg probably to Leogang, and with the train, with the bus, it's everything free for them. And also we have in the region, we have shuttling between the bigger villages to the venue, and also we have the whole week we have shuttles for the volunteers, and so they can go to the venue with the shuttle. And since last year, it was an idea from Marco that we have a closed parking area for bikes. So
nice.
A lot of the fans are arriving with their bikes here, so then they are a secured area.
Yeah, and there's a big effort gone into recyclability on site.
Yes, by the looks of course. We worked out 2 years ago or 3 years ago. We worked out the special rubbish concept for the area, and it works quite well. We have much less rubbish than some years ago, so that works, and it also helps to get this green event permission. Especially, there is a focus on the rubbish management, and also on the public transport, of course. That's also one of our main goals, because space is limited. Our goal is that there are no parking spaces for public here during the event. It's all outside of the event area, and they are connected with these shuttle systems. Yeah,
I guess that makes everyone's life more simple as well as kind of more environmentally friendly, right? Trying to park at a World Cup is never easy.
It's never easy.
However big the place is.
But somebody doesn't learn it. It's always the same. They want to go till the finish line, probably with their own car.
So how many people do you expect here for the race weekend? Like per day, what's the kind of numbers?
It depends, but the goal is, it depends a bit always on the weather forecast.
Yeah.
And there is also a holiday on Monday here in Austria. So probably also this year some guests are on holidays, but the goal is to have around 25,000 spectators during the weekend from Friday to Sunday.
Okay.
In the past, always the strongest day in Leogang is the downhill day, of course, because our people and also the crowd learned it since 2010 that there is downhill World Cup in Leogang.
Yeah.
And cross country now is back, and we build up a community for that. We have the good situation that we have really local stars in downhill with Wally Höll and Andy Kolb, and also in cross country with Laura and Mona. We have really strong riders from Austria. That helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. How do you manage that many people on site? Like, what goes behind making sure everyone's safe and everything stays in control?
Of course, there's also a lot of paperwork done because we worked out, of course, a special security and public plan for the whole weekend with all the pathways, the security ways. So there's a lot of work done, and we learned a lot during the last years to manage these crowds here in our area.
And you have a lot of crossing points on the track, on the downhill or on the XCO, and it's important to bring them to the interesting position. And so we have also hotspots on the top for the downhill, probably at the Stöckel wood section. There is a big screen also there, so and the people walking down on the track, and so we have also to build up the safety for the spectators too, not only for the racers on the track. So on site it's also the next level to secure also these ways and make them safety.
Yeah, it's easier to easier to ride down the hill than walk down it. To be fair, in some places it's very steep. Yeah, we talk about safety. We talk about people. Are you guys the people that are responsible for stopping the fans storming the finish bowl? We've seen it at a few events recently, which is kind of cool in a way. Like, it's a nice part of the atmosphere, but I'm guessing from a safety, security benefit, it's not necessarily what we want.
It never happened in Leogang.
No, I'm aware, yeah.
No, we are also organizing that, yes.
Yeah.
Together with Warner Brothers, together with our security company, we organized that. Of course, the pictures are looking really spectacular, but from a safety reason, that shouldn't happen at the World Cup event. So we are aware of that. 2 years ago, we have a special situation because Andy and Wally make the double win for Austria, and we also managed that. So hopefully we are prepared.
You're ready for it.
Yes.
Because I think the crowd in Leogang is enthusiastic but not so like probably in France and so on. And the pictures are not good what we see there, because then somebody think he has to do this also in Leogang, But there are a lot of security in the finish bowl for this time, and so we open a part of the pole so that we organize that the fans can closer go to the podium and can really see the stars, can celebrate them, but we organize them
in a control.
We open the barriers and so on, and have then new barriers there, so then they can closer go there, and so they can celebrate it. The stars.
How are you like on site on the day in something like that? How are you managing it? Because obviously there's plans in place. You've got staff, I'm assume that have been here many years and have done it and kind of know. But like, how are you connected to the event and ensuring that everything's going to plan? Like, is there a radio system? How does all that side work?
We have a radio system with I think this year we have 12 different channels on the radio, so in every part of the marshals, if the organization committee, if the other ones. And so the thing what has helped really a lot is that we have people that we know them and that from our teams, and we this development managers, they are in here own thing. They know what they have to do, and if they don't know what they have to do, they can ask Marco or me.
And I guess you've as a team, you've grown with the sport and the disciplines, right? I imagine if this was your first World Cup, it would be a lot more challenging because you've learned so much, I guess, over the years. The
first World Cup, what we have was a big challenge because we got a call from the UCI. I think it was in the end of March 2010. If we are interested to organize a downhill World Cup, and we say and which year should be? And they say this year in June. So we have in the first year only 3 months to organize it, and that was pretty hard to do, and it was a big challenge. But this was the first time that we get a long-term contract with the UCI, because we say that we need 3 years, because in 3 months there is not possible to get a budget for those. So we need a long-term to organize this also on our side.
What would you say have been your biggest like learnings and improvements over that 15-year period? What are you particularly proud of the way you guys do?
Kornel is here since the beginning. For me, it's the 11th year this year, so it's also quite a long time.
Yeah.
But the biggest learning, I think you learn every year, and every year is a bit special, especially when we also have a look on the last 6 years. The World Cup event in our area was never the same, because in 2019 it was Downhill World Cup, 2020 was the World Champs. Then we jumped in, we overtake the cross-country runs from Albstadt. 2021 was special. So every year you learn new things, and now, because we have this long-term contract until 2030, we hopefully get more similar events every year.
Yeah, and you mentioned trying to move the XC up onto the mountain, which will create some incredible views and television, I'm sure. Are there other like plans for that long period ahead that you can tease us with or talk to us about?
Yeah, we can't talk about this because that's the future. And probably we have some surprises also for the riders and also for from our side in the venue. But how Mark says, it's not every year the same. And also the changing to Warner Brothers Discovery Sports, it was 2023, I think. So then we have 3 years, 1 year contract. And it was, and you have to organize it with new colleagues and so on. But it works well. Yeah, we are happy with those, and also with our long-term contract till 2030.
Yeah, how do you feel things have progressed? Like, there has been a lot of change since like Warner Brothers came on board in 2023, and certainly I would say like the on-site, the look of the events now is way better, like more polished, more consistent from event to event. We've got great screens, the gantries look cool. I noticed last week at Ludenville they had a full projection kind of screen behind the hot seat, which had some great graphics and stuff on it, and the riders, like, feels like there's been certainly on that side of things, it's elevated the level.
Yes, so when you look outside the window, you see that the event is looking more professional than in previous years. And I think especially on the tracks, there was a lot of improvements with the new poles instead of the tapes. Especially on the downhill course, it looks quite cool now with also the crashing pads with the signs, the XCO course with the fences and the red course marking looks cool. So from my perspective, it's getting more professional and it goes into the right direction. I also like the adjustments on the downhill with the Q1 and the Q2.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it.
Yeah.
So therefore, yes, we will see where it goes.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. What we have spoken with Warner Brothers Discovery Sports also at the beginning, and this on the meetings in the past years, and they also have the goal to bring up the sport for more worldwide public and make it more professional, and also I think. Yeah, it's everything is a discussion. Yeah, probably. Yeah, if I think also the decision with the 20 World Series teams and that the field of the riders is smaller because last year we have on the downhill 396 riders, so there was on Thursday, Friday it was pretty busy. Yeah, and now we have around 200. Yeah, so but. The level is higher, and it's also for the safety it is better, and so I think it's the chance for the next level a cup, for probably a European Cup, for a North America Cup, and so on, that they can have a own cup and then they come in the World Cup, and I think this way is a good one. I think comfortable with that.
Would you guys have interest in hosting events lower down that performance pyramid? I know you've had IXS events here in the past.
At the moment, our goal is, so our main event is the World Cup, and we have a second event in the mid of September with the bike festival, Saalfelden Leogang. We focus on these two events, but we also organize during that bike festival, we organize a kids cup.
Nice, yeah.
Because I think it's also important to have races for the youngsters, and because then the sport could grow and gets identity. And there's also a special bike club now in Leogang since 3 years, 4 years.
A bit longer, but since 3 years with new structure.
And they're training 70 to 80 kids a week are training in the club, so that's also quite cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it was good to see yesterday, like the community engagement piece. You had Andy Kolb and Valley Hall with a load of the local school kids. Like they must have loved that.
Yeah, it was nice to you, and we are so happy that Warner Brothers Discovery Sports make this possible. It was the first year here, and everybody says, why we haven't done this before?
That's a great
also
idea.
The Valley, Mona, and Andy Kolb, and it was great. And for the next level riders, we have also in the beginning of October the final of the Auner Gravity series. It's an Austrian downhill series on a easier track, not on a World Cup track. So the next level come on, and we have some riders of the club. They are now on the track too, and there is also a project with the Austrian Cycling Federation. It's called Road to Leogang 2028, and it's a project with the school in Saalfelden together that we have there a local way, or how it called, Marco, or you would say that it's a special program
like a
for young riders to go into downhill or cross country, and they have their own trainer on the school for this week.
Yeah. That's amazing.
For the first time, yes.
Yeah, that's very cool to hear. I don't want to pry into specific numbers, but are you able to just give us a rough feel of like what the budget needs to look like to put on something like this?
Yes, of course. On our side, we bring in about 1.6 to 1.7 million of euros, and also Warner Brothers brings in nearly, I think, 800 or 900,000 euros. So it comes up around 2.5 million euros. So it's quite a huge budget now.
That's a big investment.
And it's also crazy because when you count all the peoples on the ground, so our staff, the athletes, the mechanics, the teams of the teams, the journalists, the media, so we think that there are around 2,200 to 2,300 people which are working or directly involved into the event. So that's quite huge.
Yeah, that is pretty huge. So 15 years into hosting a World Cup in Leogang, give us some of your thoughts on what it's done for the area, right?
Yeah, it's for the area. I think it's really important because we have the goal for a whole year tourism in the region. So in the winter we have the ski circus Saalbach, Hinterglemm, Leogang, Fieberbrunn with 70 kilometers on slopes. And this year or upcoming year we have also a cooperation with the Epic Ski Pass from North America. So if there is anyone who wants to come to Leogang, he can use his Epic Pass here upcoming season. But I think that's also important for the autumn and also for the spring. So it's in the moment we are on a good way also in the summer tourism. And for the racing, what I want to say, our goal was it should be a special event for the riders. So we have organized a warm-up area on the top for the riders, and they should feel them comfortable. And probably they say in Saalfelden Leogang there is one level higher. Probably I don't know if it's every year possible, but I think the riders should be the fan of the location.
Yeah, and do you feel it's driven the growth of mountain biking in the resort?
Definitely, yes. I think Kornel is here since the beginning, and the first years of the bike park was quite hard, and it's getting better and better. And I think from our perspective, it grows, especially with the World Cup from 2010 to now. So the event is probably one of the most important things for us to promote our area, and it is the goal, as Kornel said. We'd like to be the best mountain bike World Cup in the world. That's also our goal. And we'd like to be something similar like Kitzbühel in the Ski World Cup. We'd like to be a special event. And we'd like to focus on the athletes' convenience. They should be in the front row. For them, it should be the best event, of course.
Yeah. We do a pre-race show for the World Cup with Chris Kilmurray, one of the coaches to a lot of the riders, and he likened the Leogang World Cup to the Monaco Grand Prix. He called it the Monaco Grand Prix of mountain biking because everything's close and easy. The accommodations are all really nice. So I think it's already well received as a place that people enjoy coming and being. So sounds like you're doing a good job.
That sounds good, Chris.
Nice one. Well, if people want to come to Leogang and want to experience it and bring their bikes and enjoy the bike park, like where should they be looking? Are there websites to help them with like booking and
yes, of
all
course.
this kind of stuff?
The best site is the website of the bike park Leogang and also of Saalfelden Leogang of our area. There you find all the different informations of our tracks, which tracks and trails are open at which time. They can also call us as a tourist office. We also book the hotels for them, so that's no problem.
Cool. And we're all English speaking and everything. They can help with different languages.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, and we are the founder of the Gravity Card. It's a whole season pass for bike parks in Europe. There involved 30 parks from Italy, Switzerland, Poland, and Germany and Austria. And so that's the goal if you have this ticket. So you can make a road trip, probably Sladming, Leogang, Salten.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Nice one. Well, thank you so much for making time on a very busy week. I've never seen two people with so many phones, radios, and all sorts of equipment. Like, you're obviously busy men. So yeah, thanks for making space. Thanks for giving us some insight into what goes into the World Cup in Leogang. And I hope it all goes well for you this weekend and we have some great racing.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.